Honestly, I didn't think this week would be so eventful. First, the Fantastic Four First Steps Trailer 2 dropped, which we've already discussed. If you haven't seen the breakdown, go check it out. Then the timeline video came out, and then F1, a movie I didn't have high expectations for, shocked me so much, I can't even tell you. I'll explain everything, but then Squid Game, which had been going on for so long, finally ended. So, let's talk about everything one by one, starting with Squid Game. If you've seen Squid Game Season 1 and Season 2, then you'll definitely watch Season 3. You'll want to know how the story ends, and in a way, it does end. But even before this season came out, there were reports that the makers actually wanted to end the story with Season 2, meaning what we saw in Season 2 could have been the actual ending. The story we see across Seasons 2 and 3 was originally supposed to conclude in Season 2. However, due to certain reasons, it was extended, and fillers were added. This becomes quite obvious in both Season 2 and Season 3. Although they tried to keep Season 3 very crisp, it's only 6 episodes and it's over before you know it. The story from Season 2 was continued into Season 3. Anyone who watched Season 2 knows it ended on a cliffhanger with the story incomplete. So Season 3 continues that story. It's not like we got new games in Season 2 and then more new games in Season 3. The story remains the same. Our guy, Ji-hoon, is stuck on that island, trying to permanently end the game. Whether he succeeds or not, you'll have to watch the show to find out. Honestly, while not as good as Season 1, it wasn't as bad as Season 2 felt. Season 2 literally had no games. It was just elections where people kept saying yes or no, and everyone knew the game would continue. Season 1 had a surprise where the games ended, and then they went back to playing because they realized it was their best option. But Season 2 had nothing like that. It felt like they were just voting for the sake of passing time. They needed to fill episodes, so they put a vote after every game. After watching Season 3, I also realized how many things from Season 2 didn't have much impact. For instance, the 001 frontman character they included in the games and his strong bond with Gi-hoon doesn't fit anywhere in Season 3. They built such a strong bond between Gi-hoon and that character, and it felt like when this person discovered the massive deception, it would have a huge impact in Season 3. But when that moment comes in Season 3, it carries no weight. This is a stark difference from Season 1 and the combined Seasons 2 and 3. In Season 1, every character felt like they mattered and their deaths mattered. But by the end of Season 3, it doesn't even matter because you don't care anymore. Without spoiling anything, I'll just say that any death we see in Season 3 feels initially heavy, but then it has no effect on the game. It doesn't significantly impact Gi-hoon's character either. And in this season, there's another moment where the show goes off on a completely different tangent. I mean, in Season 1 you had games, in Season 2 you had elections, and in Season 3 there's a baby plot. But all in all, even putting all these things aside, the combined Season 2 and 3 of Squid Game was fine for me. I wouldn't call it bad, it just didn't reach the peak that Season 1 did, which I found excellent. And, it feels like all the characters, stories, and games in Season 1 were meticulously planned. But watching Season 2 and 3, it felt like the creator wasn't even interested anymore. They just wanted to finish it somehow, and that feeling lingers until the end. Nevertheless, just like Season 1 had a villain, and Season 2 had a Thanos-like figure, they try to create a new character as a villain for Season 3. But this villain doesn't feel impactful, because they weren't that important until now. But yeah, I just say that if you've watched Season 1 and 2, you'll probably watch 3. Or, if you've only seen 1, you can watch 2 and 3. Or you can skip them if you want. They're shooting a new Squid Game US in December, which David Fincher will direct. And if David Fincher, the man behind films like Fight Club, The Social Network, Zodiac, and Mindhunter, is making Squid Game, your expectations are naturally high. I want this new Squid Game to follow a new story and a new pattern, and please, you can change the aesthetics too. But moving on, after that I had a peak experience, and that was the F1 movie. I'm telling you beforehand, don't listen to anything if you haven't seen the movie. Go and watch it in theaters. This is a cinematic experience you will never forget. This is an incredible movie. Dare I say it's been years since I witnessed such a fantastic movie in a theater that blew my mind. See, the story isn't special. It doesn't have grand visual effects. It's just the spectacle they created. The way this movie was filmed. You feel like you're in that very cockpit. From the beginning, the movie starts building that atmosphere. When it shows you those POV shots of the F1 car driving, you feel like you're driving that car yourself on the racetrack, and you'll experience the vibrations you're supposed to feel in the theater. Besides that, it perfectly shows how Formula One racing works, how cars are planned and assembled. You feel like you're part of that team. Everything is shown beautifully with a quick, shiny, pristine, glossy feel, so you feel a part of it. The movie very subtly keeps showing you things you associate with racing, so you keep thinking you're in that environment, part of that team. The movie's story is very simple, but extremely effective. Brad Pitt plays a middle-aged race car driver who's doing NASCAR. Then Javier Bardem comes to him and offers him a chance to relive his old glory days, because he used to be an F1 driver, one of the very best, who couldn't continue his dream for some reason. So when life gives him a second chance, how he fulfills his dream or not, you'll have to find out by watching the movie. Honestly, watching this movie, I felt so many emotions. First and foremost, an adrenaline rush. The movie just throws you onto a Formula One racetrack and tells you to enjoy the feeling, and you actually do. Because if you've ever followed Formula One or MotoGP, there's a unique thrill when you see your favorite racer pull ahead, or when two racers compete for a position in a normal race, and then the commentary from above and the sound of the racing cars, you get into it. The movie replicates all those things with better visuals, better cinematography, and Hans Zimmer's music. Quite literally, the movie's background score is outstanding. From the very first scene, it's clear. When a movie gives a special mention to Hans Zimmer, know that music will play a huge role in that film, which it does here. And look, the movie sometimes gets a bit cliched. It plays on some formulas we've seen in many other movies, and there's a bit of drama that might make you wonder what's going on. But still, when they show you the racing, you leave all that behind and just get lost in it. And it's absolute cinema. I'm telling you, don't miss it. Go watch it. I won't say anything more about it. I've praised Joseph Kosinski enough, but I didn't listen to you because you don't like it. See you in the next one.